Welcome to Section 5. Just one more to go after this section is completed. We always start with our Bash Camp mantra, hashtag I'm a Bash Camper, I am, I can, I will, I do. So we'll review what we've covered so far, of course, to establish goals and build trust, how to build relationships, sharing a compelling reason to book, the $1,000 party, and now we're on to make the most of a party. All you do in building a successful business can be enhanced or derailed depending on how you treat customers, making them feel special, delivering what you promise, and giving them a good experience in any dealings with you. So we'll be talking about ways to make the most of every party that you do, sharing tips to help you successfully book new business from each party. We'll be focusing on the party experience and how to effectively close out guests to book additional business. The great thing about including parties in your business plan to achieve your monthly sales goals is that they are duplicatable. They're fun and easy, and they allow you to build stronger relationships with customers and hosts. They also provide an easy way to introduce others to the business and book additional parties to keep your calendar consistently booked. Blend Bash is intended to be a mingle and shop type of party, which can be challenging for you to create an opportunity to upsell, to book, and to offer business without a plan. We hope to share some tips in this training that may help you to maximize your results, with the ultimate goal being that $1,000 party. With that said, don't ever feel inadequate or that you failed if your parties are not hitting $1,000 in sales. Just work to increase your averages. If you're currently averaging 450 per party and you can increase that average to 600, that is a huge win. That represents a 33% increase in sales and commission. So celebrate that. If you're striving for the $1,000 mark, it will help you to stretch yourself to do things that you might not normally do. Sometimes it's a process to fine-tune your party, so give it time and be willing to try new things. And then keep track of your numbers so you know if the changes that you're making are increasing your averages or not. With the Bash Box Edition, the potential of increasing your guest count is key to all of the above happening. Utilize this amazing resource and tool as it's intended to increase your results. We talked about host coaching in the last session, but I wanted to touch on a few things to just reiterate the importance of what goes on during that pre-party stage. When you are comfortable and confident about working with your host to pre-sell 10 Bash Boxes, you do two things. Actually, I think there's three. You help your host to overcome their greatest fear, which is no one showing up. Selling 10 Bash Boxes will pretty much ensure that the host is going to have 10 guests. Since guests have spent money to be part of the blending experience, the likelihood of them backing out is greatly reduced. Your host can now breathe and not worry about the party count falling apart hours before the party. Second, because of the Blend Bash, you are now starting the party with 260 in sales if you pre-sell all of the Bash Boxes, which of course is a win on both sides. And the risk of parties canceling could become a thing of the past for you. Last, the formula for the $1,000 party is 10 buying guests with 3 pre-party and 3 post-party orders. Share what you know to be the ideal order, which is 3 jars, a simmering light, and an accent shade, which represents just about a $100 order. And you can also come up with your own bundle ideas. We talked about that last session. Encourage your host to suggest these ideas to any guest that can't attend, and maybe even have the host pick out a few favorites of her own as you create their wish list that they can share. Offer to send samples to those guests before the party to encourage those outside orders, as we've discussed in the past. Never forget that your host has more clout with her group of friends than you do. Challenge your host to book one party before you even arrive, even from the group that's attending or someone that's unable to attend. With your intention to book 2 parties at every party that you do, when your host books one before you ever arrive, half of your booking work is done. A bingo game or something similar can sometimes help with those hosts that like a challenge or love extra free stuff. Use it to support your host in increasing sales, in booking and sponsoring opportunities with people that she knows. Maybe consider offering a referral bonus when they refer someone that joins your team. There is this bingo challenge that's available on the back office basically for your use. It is in both JPEG and PDF versions, so you can either post it or print it to include in your host packets. There's a white background version if you want to save a little ink, and this is really great for those hosts, as I mentioned, that love a challenge. So now the party. As fun as Blend Bashes are proving to be, you still need the opportunity to upsell, book, and find prospects. If you don't think about it beforehand, the blending is going to end and you're going to lose that chance. We promote this as a mingle and shop kind of party, but it's still important to fit in time for helping you and your host have a successful experience with results in all three areas, excuse me, sales, booking, and prospecting. Make use of the Blend Bash Prep and Party cards to help you with your entire presentation. The cards will help you with the party points, as well as giving you tips on what to bring, setting the party up, and what to say to guests when checking them out, which we'll talk about in more detail in this section. Your opening sets the stage for the party. It can be short and sweet, but get your message out before the blending begins. Set the stage for how the evening will go, get your story in, share a little about your products and company you want them to know, and be sure to share that guests can learn about hosting their own party or how they can add extra income to their household with a Pink Zebra business. Let them know you'll be asking them about those things when you sit down with them to place their orders. As the blending begins, be sure to let them know about the other Blend Bash themes that are available. Ask the group who's going to host the next Blend Bash. Sometimes a group question gets people talking and shouting out that they would like to be next. When you ask, just hold up your hand. Who's going to be next? Ask the group or someone specific if they could see themselves sharing these products as a business. Use the mingling time and the blending time to drop those seeds and share some product ideas. Share some of these tips on the screen to help them with their blending experience. And as guests finish up blending, this is when you really go to work to upsell, book, and talk about the business in that one-on-one setting. Your one-on-one time is your chance to capitalize on those seeds that you've planted and to get to know your guests better. Don't be shy about this part. Most consultants struggle a little here, worried about what to say and what people will think. Closing effectively is one of those learned skills that you can get good at if you keep practicing. This is your chance to keep your business moving forward, so don't be shy and just add your customer's purchase up and be done with them. This is a perfect time to ask questions about their family, their work, and their home, and how they currently fragrance. Relationships begin with easy conversation with a goal of getting to know your customers better. Remember to suggest a bundle and be sure they have included a warmer or an accent shade and that they know that at $49.99 plus, there's free shipping in the U.S. If you are using a customer care card, have your guests fill it out as you start reviewing your order. People may feel more comfortable checking off something that they're interested in learning about than saying something directly to you. So if you catch something that they've checked while they're still with you, you can ask a simple question like, I see that you've checked that you'd like to learn more about earning free trips. What would you like to know? It just helps you to get that conversation moving. Set up an area that's close to everyone to close out each guest. Be intentional with your questions and make it conversational and comfortable. When you're confident in what you have to offer, whether it's the opportunity to host a party or join your team, your guests will notice. Ask questions for their benefit, not yours. When you are genuinely interested in them with a desire to give them a great party experience or join a business that could change their lives, there's no need to feel anxious. Remember that questions gain information and help steer your conversation to business building opportunities. One key question that can lead to so many more is simply, do you work outside the home? One question can lead to another once they respond, and you can say something like, do you like what you do? Do you work part-time or full-time? Every conversation goes differently, but decide what you need. Do you still have dates open on your calendar that need to be booked? Is your sponsoring where you want it to be? Know going into a party where your greatest need is and concentrate on that. Even though you should be offering both, there are times when the chance to do so just doesn't come. So if you know you need bookings, be sure to ask that at a minimum. If you book a party with that guest, you can always use that party experience to share more about joining your team when she's a host. So let's role play this really quickly. I'm going to pretend I'm the consultant at this point, and I'm going to answer as the guest as well, but I would say, hi, Sherry, did you have fun tonight? And the guest, Sherry, might say, oh, this was great. I had not been to a blending party before. So I would then follow with, I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. Let's look at your order. And then I would throw in, do you work outside the home? It just gives me an opportunity to get that conversation going as I'm adding up her items. The guest might say, I do. So I would say, what do you do? Maybe whatever it may be, I work in the sales department for a furniture company, and I could say, do you like it? Well, sometimes yes, sometimes no, and you do get that a lot. So I might say, if you ever thought of doing something alongside your job just to earn an extra $500 a month? The guest might say, I hadn't really thought about it, but the extra income sure would be nice. So then I could follow up with, would you be open to taking some information home to review? And I can follow up with you tomorrow. What time would work best for you? So they might say 10 a.m., they might say after work, whatever the case might be. So then I would say, great, how would you feel then about hosting a blend bash like Susan had tonight? It would be a great way for you to learn more about what it takes as a host and to learn more about the business. And then she might say that really could work. Then I would go on and talk about a date, what day of the week might work best for her, or would a Tuesday or a Wednesday work best? Keep that conversation going and get that date out there. So I may stop there if she actually does book a party because I'm getting something, that's great. If the booking isn't happening, I would then focus on increasing the order. So there's a few ideas that you might be able to say. So something like, I see you bought a simmering light. Was there an accent shade that you had your eye on? Or do you like the idea of blending your own fragrances? And can I suggest a few other fragrances that work well with what you purchased? Maybe are there other rooms in your home that could use some fragrance help that you just didn't consider? You might say something like, how old are your kids? And do you want to consider something for their rooms? Maybe they're into sports, whatever it may be. Any thoughts on using soaps for a bathroom, whether Naked Reeds or a Woolly? They're also great for spraying furniture if you have pets. So just some ideas of some different things that you can ask to get that conversation going and to get them talking more about their home and their home situation. After all is done and the party is settled, evaluate your results. Be asking yourself, did I book 2 parties? Did I find someone interested in learning about the business, whether it was the host or a guest? Did I offer the host to join my team specifically? You can normally do that at the end of the party when you're kind of recapping the results. What were the total party sales, and did it exceed my average? Is my average going up? Very important for you to evaluate your results and seek ways to improve them by adjusting the approach as you go. And when you know your numbers and you're looking and asking these questions at the end of every party, you can obviously make some adjustments. And if you know what your numbers are, you can see if the adjustments that you're making are actually making a difference. So this wraps up section 5. We've got one assignment for you from this section, and it is assignment number 11, which is completing the Make the Most of Your Party quiz, which follows this section. So that brings us to the completion of this section. I hope by now that you've at least booked a blend bash if you aren't already doing blend bashes on a regular basis. And we'll share our mantra, hashtag I'm a bash camper. I am, I can, I will, I do, I did. Thank you.